Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another channel update, and this time it is actually the channel update I've been hoping to make for the last month, and probably the one that you guys have been anticipating as well. Yes, indeed, I am in fact ready to come back to make more videos on a regular basis because my headphones have finally come in. Indeed, much to be celebrated there. So yeah, starting Monday, February 25th, we shall resume video releases as normal every Monday and Wednesday, and as I promised, to make up for the fact that I've been gone for pretty much a month, the videos to round out February will both be Let's Dev videos. So that means Monday will be a Let's Dev video and Wednesday will be a Let's Dev video. But to make things even better, the entire month of March is going to be dedicated to Let's Dev. So hopefully that makes up for the fact that I was not here for like a month. So there we go, we got the important stuff out of the way, and I have a couple of things I want to just bring up that are on my mind regarding Let's Dev. But before we get to that, I wanted to just really go over the absurd situation that caused me to be out an entire month. And you know what, if you're not really interested in that and you're just here for the Let's Dev info, I'll put a like a time code or something on the video here so you can skip ahead. But in case you are curious as to why it in fact took me so long to get a pair of headphones replaced, well, sit back and allow me to fill your mind with the most amount of WTF. Now, I'll just preface this by saying that I meme it a lot, but a lot of this has to it boils down to me having really bad luck. And yeah, had none of this gone wrong, my original timetable for coming back when I said I would have been accurate, but I digress. So to quickly recap, my headphones died on Christmas Eve, and no joke, the worst, I guess the worst bit of irony was I was putting the finishing touches on the schedule for the videos that I was gonna record and edit in the holiday stretch there, because I was gonna have some extra time. So I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna map out what I'm gonna do, and as I was finishing that up, my headphones died. So, beautiful, just poetic, a bit of irony there. But so unfortunately I had to wait until after Christmas to call the manufacturer, called them, and got the whole replacement situation sorted out. And the basic gist of it was I had to send in my broken headphones, they would verify those headphones were broken, and then they would send the replacements. So I sent my headphones on the same day. Unfortunately, the New Year's meant that it took like twice as long to get there, but it did eventually get there. And friends, this is where it just goes downhill. So the lovely tech support, and they were lovely, they told me that it would take up to 2 weeks for me to get any sort of movement on this. Like, that was like, at least give us 2 weeks to sort the situation out. So I was like, okay, waited 2 weeks, heard nothing back from the company. So I had to start doing some digging and had to try and figure out what the heck was going on. I was able to get the tracking code for the replacement headphones that the company was supposed to send me, and I looked it up. To my surprise, not only did they send the headphones a few days after they received my broken ones, and mind you, they were supposed to send me some notification when they were going to send out the headphones so that I would be able to, you know, actually track my package in real time. But that's not the worst of it, trust me. So yes, I look up the tracking information, and lo and behold, the package, according to the tracker, reached the destination area, which I'm assuming is where I live, and it was just no updates for an entire week. Like, on the day that I checked it, an entire week had gone by and there was no activity on the tracker. So I called the courier service, and by the way, I'm not gonna mention any names. I don't want to cause any kind of brigade here or anything. I just want to tell the silly story. Although I will say that they do deserve to get some mudslinging their way, but I'm gonna be the better person and not go there. I tried to email the company and I inquired, you know, where's my headphones? You know, it's been a week, and their email support was just the absolute worst. They pretty much parroted exactly what I told them, and they just said, well, the only thing that we can do is suggest that you call the support line. So I called the support line, and again, they parrot the same thing that I just told them back to me, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to have to open an investigation to figure out what happened to your package. And just like the manufacturer, they're like, please give us 2 weeks to figure out what happened to your package. So I was like, okay, well, this is happening. I have to wait 2 weeks, and I guess we'll see what happens. 2 weeks go by, no status updates, no emails, no messages, no nothing. Just absolute silence from their end. And so I do the only thing I can do is I contact the support again, and I ask them, hey, I'm trying to figure out the status of my investigation, only to be given the runaround, the same runaround to absolutely no one who can actually help me. So at this point, I'm just absolutely done with the courier service. I'm refusing to work with these people anymore because I have given them 2-3 weeks of my time and nothing. So I go back to the manufacturer, I call the manufacturer up, I'm like, hey, so I tried to figure this out with the courier service, they're giving me the code shoulder, I'm coming to you guys to, I don't know, figure this out. And again, lovely support system on their side. They're just like, okay, look, can you give me your information? And they look it up and they're like, okay, we can see there's obviously been an issue here. Please give us some time to start our own investigation. And so the poor tech support guy is just like, I'm sorry, but it's gonna take us 2 weeks to do this investigation. Please give us 2 weeks and then we'll contact you. He could just feel my soul drop because I'm just like, okay. So luckily a few days later, I get a notification their investigation was over. And so from there, they sent out a replacement for the replacement and I finally got it. And now here we are. And as a nice cherry on top, the courier service never ever contacted me again regarding the first lost package. So I have no idea what happened with that. It's clear that they lost the package at some point, but they have like no respect or there's no courtesy there to just be like, yeah, we lost it, sorry, you're gonna have to contact the manufacturer to get something worked out. You know, I had to do that myself, and God knows if I hadn't done that myself and just relied on that courier service, we probably wouldn't be here right now. So yeah, as much as I would love to just sling mud at this company, I'm not gonna do it. They deserve it, but I'm not gonna do it. But anyway, that is the tale as to why it took me so long to get back. A whole lot of waiting for people to do stuff and a whole lot of people not doing what they're getting paid to do. So there you go, that's the story. Alright, so with that epic story out of the way, and again, just the perfect example of why my luck is just the worst, let's talk a little Let's Dev, shall we? So again, I'm sort of just going to give you guys the gist of the consciousness I'm going through right now regarding like the future of Let's Dev. So just remember that, you know, nothing I'm saying is final. It's just what I'm thinking at the moment. So from a production standpoint, Let's Dev is going to continue to be the way that it has been for the last few months. And that is the post-commentary style of presentation. Now, if you're not familiar when I say post-commentary, Let's Dev in the past has been presented two ways. I categorized it as live commentary and post-commentary. The difference is live commentary is sort of me providing the commentary at the same time that I'm actually writing the code. The best way that I describe it is it's the same way that you would watch a gameplay video here on YouTube, except instead of me playing a game, I'm making a game. So that is the live commentary that I refer to. Post commentary is when I record the code bits that you see in videos separately from when I do the commentary. Usually what I do is I record the session and then I go in afterwards and just sort of, you know, give an overall explanation of what happened during that session. And it's been what I've been doing the last few months. And originally I started doing that because it was just way too hot and it was very hard to concentrate. And the way that the end of the year just sort of worked out, you know, with Sweet Spooks and then the holiday special, it didn't make sense to immediately go back to live commentary for just like November. So I stuck with it until the very end of the year. And I will say that both live commentary and post commentary have their pros and cons. I would say that the thing that I love about the live commentary version is that it is like the essence. It is the version of Let's Dev that I like the most, but I understand it's not the most entertaining version of Let's Dev. You know, the live version is just me trying to figure out how to make a video game, but the post commentary version cuts out a lot of the struggle. You know, sometimes you wonder why a video is like less than 5 minutes. It's because I cut out a lot of the struggle, because a lot of the struggle is just me trying to just fiddle with code to make it work, and you know, unfortunately that is not as interesting to a lot of people. And the pros for post commentary is it's much more efficient to produce, and again, it doesn't waste any time, so you see the most productive version of that session. and generally speaking, I think it seems to be very well received on the channel. But some of the cons for obviously doing the post commentary is I feel like some of that, the essence, like I feel like Let's Dev turns more into a showcase with the post commentary, because it's like, here's what I did, look at all the stuff that I did in this session, and it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't convey the same struggles or the same sort of trials and tribulations that you get with the live version. And there's also obviously the misconception that these are tutorial videos, you know, that I'm trying to show you how to make a game with the code. And one of the top things that I tend to get in messages is people telling me, you know, your coding could use a lot of work, you know, your code efficiency could use a lot of work. And and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm not a professional at this at all, you know. But I'm sure a lot of those people mean well, but it's just funny to see people think that, you know, I'm approaching Let's Dev like a serious programmer, you know. I'm just like, nah, man, I'm just trying to put Legos together and make something cool, and hopefully it doesn't crash when I hit test, you know. That's basically the gist of Let's Dev, is just one normal dude trying to replicate what he enjoys. But anyway, we're not here to speak about the philosophy of Let's Dev. For now, we're gonna be sticking with the post commentary, because again, it is much more efficient for me to do right now, especially because I don't get to do this full time. So the thing that's really messing with me right now is I'm trying to think of ways where I don't need to have like two versions, you know. Maybe I can take what I like about the live version and implement that into the post version. I want it to be entertaining, but I want it to really encourage people to look at these videos as just a dude who wants to make a thing, and even if he fails 9 out of 10 times, you know, eventually that 1 out of 10 happens and something works, and it's a great feeling, you know. I don't want people to look at it and be like, oh yeah, he punched in a bunch of code and he did a thing and it made a thing and a thing happened. I feel like I can be doing more with series, and that's really what I want to try to focus on. I don't know, maybe make Let's Dev more inclusive to people who aren't into code, who maybe I can inspire, because maybe someone looks at the post commentary version and is just like, well, this guy knows what he's doing, so, you know, there's no reason for me to really watch this if there's no context, you know. And finally, I wanted to just touch on a couple of Let's Dev ideas that I brought up in the past that I really haven't brought up again since then. So I talked about at one point doing Let's Dev spin-off stuff. Like, I had ideas for things that weren't necessarily in the same vein as the way that I do Let's Dev right now. I can say that I've attempted many approaches to some of those ideas, and they just haven't worked out in a way that I've liked. But one thing that I did actually bring from that whole brainstorming session were prototypes. The companion prototype was, I think, the first one that I did. Originally, the prototype idea was to be more of a showcase, but I decided, you know what, instead of doing a showcase, this could work as Let's Dev on its own. So I brought the concept of creating prototypes that aren't meant to be in any way, shape, or form final, and just bring that to the Let's Dev series and just have fun with an idea. But anyway, this has probably been the longest video that I have done on this channel in a while, and I've done nothing but just riff-raff and talk about nonsense, so I think it's time that we wrap this one up. So once again, I just want to thank everybody out there for being so patient. I know that it has been a long time. Trust me, I've missed this immensely. I'm so happy to be back and doing this, so fingers crossed that nothing else goes wrong. But yes, thank you so much for watching, listening to this me blabber on. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time.